Karlov of the Ghost Council versus Aminatu the Fate Shifter. With 2 lands, 2 black. Probably going to get into another black for Necropotence, so let's start things off with Soul's Attendant. That's always a good one to get into, because when we cast our commander next turn we will gain life, and Karlov will effectively come down as a 4/4. Okay, we do not get into another land unfortunately, so we'll have to keep our fingers crossed for next turn. Got a couple of things we can do at least. Let's go in for Scrubland, get down our commander as fast as we can. Soul's Attendant triggers whenever a creature enters, which triggers the Karlov. And then we'll go in for 1 point of damage. And our opponent clearly kept a 1 land hand. Okay, so we'll try again. Karlov of the Ghost Council, this time versus Oloro, Ageless Ascetic. We are on the draw there. It's actually a worse hand than we kept previously, which is always annoying. But luckily our opponent just starts things off with a tap land. Do we want to get down the Enlightened Tutor? I think ramping is going to be a good idea here, so let's go for the plains. And we'll aim at going in for Enlightened Tutor. Passing through with 2 blue mana held up. We'll grab ourselves the Sol Ring here. See if we can sneak a Sol Ring past our opponent. Looks as though we can, so let's also go for the Stoneforge Mystic. We'll grab that Scrubland again. Don't have any life gain yet, unfortunately. So I think it would be an idea to go for Umzawa's Jitte. Although how many creatures is our opponent going to play? Yeah, maybe going for Lightning Greaves is a better idea. Can't cast that yet, unfortunately, so we'll just pass. Going for Vindicate onto the Sol Ring, so that wastes our tutor. But we've got plenty of lands to make at least, so let's go for... Yeah, we'll get down a tap land with Verdant Catacombs. Then we'll throw down the Phyrexian Reclamation. In fact, we'll probably go for an untapped... Yeah, we'll go for an untapped Godless Shrine with that. Because then we'll be able to get in the Lightning Greaves with Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, now let's go for cracking this. Probably should have done this on my turn actually, so that we don't give our opponent a chance to get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic. But it doesn't look like our opponent wants to remove it anyway. So we'll throw out the Lightning Greaves. And now let's see what counter magic our opponent has. Okay, deciding to crack the Polluted Delta in response to this. I will put Karlov back into the graveyard if it gets countered here. But he does not, so let's drop the plains. Go for Lightning Greaves on our commander. And then I think I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I mean we can get the Karlov back. If our opponent's got some kind of bounce creature like a Venser or something, then it'll get rid of the Venser at least. Commander damage matters in this deck, so decided to risk it there. Then deciding not to do anything at the end of our turn. Then going in for a board wipe, so let's go and put this into the graveyard. And then at the end of our opponent's turn we can pay 2 life and bring that back. We will bring back Karlov here. And that way we cheat the commander tax. We'll throw out the Karlov again. And again put the Lightning Greaves on there. Then let's drop the Isolated Chapel. And might even go in for the Stoneforge Mystic so that we can grab the Jitte. Or maybe it's going to be the Whisper Silk Cloak that we want. A Dark Steel Ingot now. Then deciding to go Toxic Deluge. They're putting a lot of effort into us not having a Karlov in play. They go X4 onto that just in case we gain life as well. So we'll just have to take that and go for Karlov again next turn. Lightning Greaves and Phyrexian Reclamation doing some work here. Okay, there's Recruiter of the Guard. Let's do the same again. Lightning Greaves on there. And then let's also... no, we can go Recruiter of the Guard next turn. Let's go for the Stoneforge Mystic here. And then we'll play a Swamp. Go for the Stoneforge. Make our opponent start worrying about a Jitte. That might make them hold on to removal so that they don't get rid of the Phyrexian Reclamation. Yeah, we'll go for that. Make them hold on to removal or counter magic. Go in again at them with Karlov. Not getting into any life gain has hurt us here. But we can get some life gain with Recruiter of the Guard. Now a Chromatic Lantern from our opponent. And holding up 4 pieces of any coloured mana they like with 3 cards in hand. Well, that's life gain. How much life do we need this turn? We could go for Umezawa's Jitte and see if it gets countered. And then if this gets countered, we can go either Crested Sunmare or Recruiter of the Guard into life gain. Well, our opponent's either got something or they're pretending to have something. Going for Overwhelming Denial. This spell can't be countered. Counter a target spell. So that gets rid of the Jitte. Now then, do we want to go for Recruiter of the Guard into life gain, or I think we can go like that, yeah. Yeah, let's go Recruiter of the Guard here. And then we can go for Auriok Champion maybe. Yeah, that's got Pro Black, which might come in handy. Yeah, let's go with that. Then we'll move the Greaves over there. Must remember to put that back on at the end of the turn. Hit our opponent again, and hopefully we can actually start gaining some life now. We should gain a nice bit of life next turn. We can go Crested Sunmare into the Scoured Barrens. And that'll gain us some life. And then the Sunmare actually entering will trigger the Auriok Champion as well, so we should get a few life gain triggers here. Oh, Demonic Tutor maybe goes for a board wipe. I was assuming that I might be playing into a board wipe, but I hoped our opponent didn't have one in hand. In fact, I assume they didn't. But maybe they just top decked the Demonic Tutor. Well, whatever they got, doesn't look like it was a board wipe. It may be some kind of counter magic, maybe. Let's try the Crested Sunmare. That's the type of thing you want to counter if you've got any counters in hand. And counter it they have. Mystic Confluence. Yeah, should have played a land apparently. But I was aiming to play the Scoured Barrens, so I don't feel too badly about that. They would have countered this either way, but they draw 2 cards instead of 1 here. So we will allow that to go through. And we can get that back with the Phyrexian Reclamation anyway. So let's drop the Scoured Barrens. That will gain us a life. Which will put 2+ counters onto our commander. I think that's the first bit of life we've gained this game, isn't it? Swinging with everything. And we'll grab back the Sunmare at the end of our opponent's turn. Well, still not going for anything. Just continuing to play on our turn. So let's get back the Sunmare. And then we've got Anguished Unmaking. Let's... well, we just try and get the Sunmare down yet again, don't we? It's not worthy that they've got Cyclonic Rift mana held up. Okay, it does enter this time, so we'll gain some life. Now we'll put our opponent up to 18. That is 6, 7, 8, 9, 16. Yeah, there's nothing to gain from swinging in with the Crested Sunmare here, I don't think. So let's just play a land and we'll hold up the Anguished Unmaking. Swing in with everything again. Our opponent quickly taking it, so it looks like they don't have any answers, or they've got something to do at the end of our turn. Crested Sunmare triggers because we gained life. Going for Vamp Tutor in response. So that's 2 tutors they've got off this game. The Indestructible Horse comes down and triggers the Auriok Champion again, which will trigger our Karlov. Looks like our opponent's doing something in response. That is a Cyclonic Rift at the end of the turn. Okay. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. We do get another tutor with the Stoneforge Mystic at least. Yeah, we can still win next turn, assuming that we can land the Lightning Greaves. So we'll just allow it. Then we'll get rid of the Crested Sunmare, I think. Yeah. That's the slowest out of everything in our hand. Then a Drogskull Reaver from our opponent. We can go for the Anguished Unmaking onto that, luckily. Well, that's a great means of our opponent drawing into lots of cards. This is actually a pet card of mine. I need to find a place to slot this card. Let's go for Anguished Unmaking. Certainly making use of our life this game. And then we need to keep our fingers crossed that there's no counter magic. Actually forgot to crack the Polluted Delta there, so let's go for that. Just grab a swamp. Then we'll try the Lightning Greaves, followed by the Auriok Champion, followed by our Commander. And that comes in, triggers Karlov. Then we'll get Lightning Greaves on there as soon as we can. And it looks like our opponent's got something. A Dismember. Nothing we can do about that, I don't think. No, our opponent gets another turn. Yeah, we'll put it in the graveyard. And we'll go for the Phyrexian Reclamation again. So let's put the Greaves on there. And we'll go for the Reclamation and activate that at the end of our opponent's turn again. Might as well swing in with this. Only one card left in our opponent's hand now. They're going to draw into another one this turn though. They may just play their Commander here to put a blocker in the way. Looks like that's what they're doing. If we can gain enough life, then we should be able to get rid of Oloro, get it out of the way at least. Then a Thought Vessel from our opponent in response to that. Let's go and grab the Karlov back. Okay, Teferi's Protection is not bad at all. Let's go Karlov first of all. Put the Lightning Greaves onto Karlov. Oh, we can actually go Mystical Tutor into the Whispersilk Cloak, can't we? Yeah, let's go for that. And that should be the game then. Grab that. Use that ability. And then we'll put the Greaves here onto the Auriok Champion. Play and equip the Whispersilk Cloak. That makes our Commander unblockable. And our opponent sees it and scoops. We just move the Lightning Greaves back over onto Karlov for the haste. And put our opponent up to 24 points of Commander damage. So that was a grueling one there. Took us a while to get into our life gain. In fact, the only life gain we saw was from a tutored for Auriok Champion. Could have gotten another thing out with the Recruiter of the Guard. And saw another bit of life gain from the Scoured Barons, which helped us to double our damage output there. But I think the real star of the show there was the Phyrexian Reclamation. Poured a lot of life into that, but it really helped us keep down the command attacks. Karlov would have cost, oh I don't know, upwards of 10 CMC towards the end there, so Yeah, definitely made a lot of use out of Phyrexian Reclamation there, especially against a very difficult control deck such as Oloro. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe to help us get to our goal of 4,000. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.